Looks like we had some technical difficulties here.
Still showing is offline. Oh, wait.
And I think we're back now. We're back up. The teams are just setting up here for the pro draft. And I believe we were just talking about the fact that we actually have seen most of these players here from SFAD, so not completely new. They do have a different jungler here. It's going to be Jaster in the jungle compared to Finny, who has now left the team here for SFAD.
Mm-hmm. Well then, I wonder if he'll be able to live up to the hype.
Yeah, for sure. And the picks and bans have already started out here. So for DOV Chaos, they're going to ban out the Mordekaiser here. And now SFAD going to return fire with that Rumble. They don't want Doifin to get his hands on it. He absolutely carried last week on that Rumble mid.
Yeah, Rumble mid. I mean, realistically, whether you see a Rumble mid, top, or even the weird jungle pick, Rumble's just really strong. So I'd say it's a good, very good respect ban.
For sure. Now we see the Jarvan come out from DOV Chaos there, and that's targeted at Jaster. He does play quite a bit of Jarvan, and it is a very solid pick. We've seen it a lot in the Coalition League. Can't enable a lot of the team compositions here. SFAD going to ban another mid laner away from Judas here, and it's going to be the Corki this time.
So it makes you wonder, like, do you think SFAD is going to just try to focus fire bans on Judas? Or are they going to try to break off at this point and maybe start banning some from either Dolphin, the ADC, or maybe something from Doc in the True Lane?
Well, it looks like for now they'll put it on a pause as the Zac ban comes up from DOV Chaos. SF80, that's not actually an Ivern ban. That is a missing ban because of Jaster being used as an E-sub. They do lose a ban, so that Ivern's actually a blank ban there. And DOV Chaos going to be able to get their first pick. And it's going to be the Volibear here. Potentially either top or jungle. I don't think we've seen either Trodoc or Sonic Abs play it. They both do play it, though. So it could potentially flex into either lane, but more likely, I think, actually, no, it's hard to tell because both of them have been playing it quite a bit recently.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure if SSJR plays it either, but Volley can also be flexed in support.
For sure, and SSGR definitely playing a lot of unusual champions. We have seen him spam that fiddlesticks there for himself quite a bit, regardless which lane he shows up in. So I am expecting to maybe see that again. SF80 going to pick themselves up Senna here, one of Rookter's favorite champions. So most likely going to be that starving Senna for Rookter. And it's a really good deny ban here, deny pick as well from Dolphin, who did play it last week with that fiddlesticks. And a Kindred as well now for SFAD. And it's back to DOV Chaos for their picks. They're going to insta-lock that Ezreal in for Dolphin here.
That could be very scary. Ezreal's been really strong the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, there's kind of a bit of a triumvirate, a trinity at the top of the ADC pool right now, with Varus being the most pick or ban champion in the pro scene, followed below by Aphelios and Ezreal. So definitely a really solid ADC pickup here. And they're going to pair it with a Nautilus, it looks like, for SSGR. So interesting pick here, especially when the Fiddlesticks was still available.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now, granted, right now, Nautilus is probably best in support role, but he's still well catered to go either top or jungle. Or, I mean, if they wanted to flex it mid, they could. It'd be a weird flex, but it is an option.
For sure. I mean, we did see it at Worlds last year or last season, but that was quite a while ago. And we now are seeing the Karma come out from SFAD here to round up their picks. Most likely a support Karma. Could be flex around. We'll have to see where it goes. And they're going to ban out the Echo here, which is, again, looks like it's targeted a bit at Judas.
That's definitely interesting because especially with how SFAD is drafting right now, like I'm wondering if they're looking for a specific champion to try to get Juice onto that would benefit them.
For sure, because everything's thrown at the mid lane right now. Now, Chaos joining in the party. They're banning out the mid lane as well. They've got themselves a Cassiopeia ban, and that would be targeted against Unknown Temptation here, who did do a ton of damage for his team last split. The last ban coming out SF80 is going to be the Orianna, and now returned with a Vigar. So a lot of mid lane bans here from both teams.
Yeah, and out of all of them, I really respect the cast ban from Chaos, especially with how their comp looks currently. Because I mean, they have Ezreal and they have two all-in champs. Cassiopeia would just destroy them immediately just with her ult. Not to mention her puddle stops Volibear from being able to jump in, stops Nautilus from being able to use his hook, stops Ezreal from being able to arcane shift.
Yeah, so definitely would have restricted the mobility of Ezreal quite a bit and made it a lot less of a safe pick. Instead of FAD going to pick themselves up the Ornn here. So really good engage or disengage. Just generally strong in these team fights. And we do see the Poppy coming out for DOV Chaos for that top lane Truo Doc there. And I do believe he played it last week, and it was an absolute monster in that top lane. That safeguard just stopping engage after engage. I'm not sure how effective it will be against the Ornn. He does have that one charging in spell, but other than that, I'm not sure. And we're going to see Talia here. I think it's the first time we're going to see this one for Judas in the mid lane.
That could be very terrifying. I mean, that's easy ganks, either top or bot, straight from the mid lane with the Weaver's Wall.
And with that Poppy pickup as well, it means the Volibear will be going into the jungle here for Sonic Abs. So we could look to see some dives coming out under turrets with that Stormbringer ultimate there. And SF80 going to finish off their composition here with that Vladimir. So it's going to be a Vladimir mid, Ornn top, Karma, Senna bot lane, and Kindred in the jungle for SF80. For the side of Chaos in the top lane, it's going to be a Poppy here in the jungle, the Volibear, mid lane Talia, and the bot lane Ezreal Nautilus. So now having seen all the picks here, Luna, what are your thoughts on this pick and ban and the compositions here?
So Chaos, they're wanting to try to win the game fast. Like they're looking at win game like 25, 30 minutes, whereas SFAD, that is just a straight scaling comp. You have a Senna, you have a Kindred, you have Ornn, and then you have two other champions in Karma and Vlad that do well once they get items.
So SFAD definitely looking to scale up here. And one thing to know though is that last week in week 4, we saw a lot of teams here struggling to get their scaling comps really going here. And a lot of them just ended up getting run over in the early game. So SF80 picking a bit of a risky pick here. Do you think that DOV Chaos will be able to pull off that sort of stop them, well, effectively stopping them from scaling up here?
I think it depends on how fights go and how Jaster's capability of using the Kindred ult to its mass potential is really going to be the linchpin in whether or not they can make it to that super late game or if it just doesn't matter.
Fair enough. So yeah, we'll have to see how it comes down to Jaster here. And again, Jaster slotting in. He's an E substitute for the side of SF8D. So we'll have to see for sure whether or not he'll be able to work comfortably with the team, whether he'll be able to slot right in and mesh well with the rest of the team there in SF80 just looking to scale. So for on the side of DOV Chaos though, considering that they're the ones on a timer, they're the ones who have to make proactive moves, who do you think we should be looking at here on the side of DOV Chaos?
I mean, it's going to be either Judas in the mid lane on Talia because Talia is really strong. Like once she gets to like 2 items, she can burst almost anyone down except for super heavy tanks. And the same can almost be said for Ezreal right now because of how strong he is. So it's whichever of the two is more ahead. And if they're both doing extremely well early, then SFAD is just going to have to try to keep one shut down and just try to avoid the other as much as possible to try to stop any hemorrhaging, if any, at the time.
For sure. So definitely we'll have to look for DOV Chaos in their mid and their bot lane. And Sonic Abs going to be the one to enable them. And Sonic Abs has been quite an aggressive jungler here as well. So definitely could very well be the one to enable those lanes to start carrying here. And against the Kindred, Volibear into Kindred, I know that Kindred usually wants to take a bit of time to skill up, get a couple of those farming marks under her belt, 5 or 6 at least, before she starts looking actively for these fights. So early game, do you think like that Sonic Abs will be looking for ganks, and do you think Jaster here will be able to counter gank or at least match some of those the pressure coming out from Sonic Abs?
I think it's very possible. Another thing to point out is Volibear is also extremely strong right now. So if it happens to be the Volibear that gets ahead, Volibear could just solo carry his team potentially. Because right now, with how strong Volibear is, he can almost just 1v9 at once he gets to like level 11 or something like that.
Okay, so yeah, that's definitely another thing to watch as well. Is just if Sonic Abs can just flat out get himself so far ahead, and we have seen him do similar things on Olaf last week as well, where he did get extremely ahead, 1v3, managed to just apply pressure onto the enemy team. And do a lot of damage here. And what the other thing I'm liking actually quite a bit from the side of DOV Chaos's team here, they do have a couple of displacements, so they can nullify some of the power from that Lamb's Respite from Jaster here. They have the sort of the knockarounds from the Talia, from the Poppy, and they can pull people out with the Dredge Line as well from SSJR's Nautilus here.
Yeah, not to mention that a lot of those can be used to interrupt Ornn when he goes for the Ornn Horn.
Yeah, definitely. If he can't land that second half of the Ornn Horn there, he doesn't get the knock up, and that's a lot of the strength of the Ornn as well. So definitely able to try and stop the engage, and that is going to be a key part of SFAD's composition to find that engage. They don't have another sort of AoE engage other than that Ornn, though Vladimir, Unknown Temptation, more than happy to run into the enemy team. He doesn't have that CC that Ornn brings to the table here.
Right. The only other option SFAD would have is going to be with Rooker on the Senna, trying to capitalize on the snare, because it is an AoE route after it detonates.
Yeah, then that's just a single target, so they can look to try and find picks a little bit here, but probably not necessarily the game plan that they want to rely on. But it is still really solid scaling from that Senna, from that Vladimir, and that Kindred as well. At this point, I'd just like to remind everyone we do have the Friday Pentaskin raffle right now going on, where if any team does manage to get a pentakill, we will be running a raffle for anyone who's in the chat and who's following the channel. You have a chance to win a mystery skin there, so definitely root on your team here, and hopefully they manage to get you guys a pentakill. And with that, we are probably going to head into an intermission break while we just wait out the spec delay here. So we'll see all of you in a couple of minutes here.
I'll never forget this day. I'm gonna throw my memories away. Now I feel I'm done, and I am cursed by every day till my time is gone. I've never felt this way before, and now I know this all for sure. I won't forget your last betray. I'll never forget this day.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, on to Summoner's Rift here on the blue side. It's DoV Chaos with Truodoc in the top lane, Sonic Abs in the jungle, Doifin Judas in the mid lane, Dolphin Judas in the ADC, and SSJR as support. On the red side, it's gonna be Cassidy in that top lane, Jaster in the jungle, Unknown Temptation in the mid lane, Rookter as ADC, and the Northwold as support. And at level 1, we're seeing some action here. Both teams grouping up as 5. They might potentially meet up here as we do see DoV Chaos coming into the river bush here. We've got a 5 stack here on the what used to be the banana bush here for the side of SFAD, and they got a ward onto the blue buff, so they'll see the invade coming in from DoV Chaos right now. They're wrapping around, and we might see a level 1 fight. They aren't aware yet. And they're into there, and we do see it's DoV Chaos bringing the damage down. They've got them cut off. First Blood gonna head over to the north. Wolf them, and they're just gonna keep chasing. They've picked up 2. They got Sonic Abs as well as SSJR here. And SFAD off to a solid start with kills on both Unknown Temptation and the Northwolf. 3 stacks on that Dark Seal already.
Yeah, I definitely think that as soon as they saw that they weren't there, they should have just warded and backed out. Because, like, if it was like that, and it was the 2 5v5, then SFAD, they just win that early. Easy. Now, if it was all of Chaos, and they were only against like 2 or 3 of them, and Chaos would have won easy just because of how much CC they have early.
For sure, and that's the risk you take when you're invading. It was just really well played from SFAD to read the invade like that, to know what they were, to know that DoV would try and go in from the bot side there. And we did talk about how SFAD would be stronger in the late game, and definitely is going to be an issue now because they've already started getting that hit start on getting to that late game point.
Right. And another thing to note is it's going to be really rough going for the Chaos bot lane because they have Nautilus support into a Senna. So it's just like, I mean, you have Senna Karma, you can't really step up to do much. I mean, he's already at half health.
But he turns back the Dredge line connecting onto North Wolf, and they managed to put quite a bit of damage down. So definitely, as you pointed out, in that bot lane, Rookter and North Wolf able to just punish from range as long as they can dodge those Dredge lines. But if they get hit, we can see how much damage SSJR and Dolphin Judas can put down there. Top side, we see a gank coming in from Jaster early onto Truodoc there. Truodoc gonna get tagged up. Can he run away? He does use the flash. Do they have enough CC? They don't need it. They've got damage. Jaster able to just shred him down. That's the flash out from Truodoc. He already used the teleport as well, so he'll have to walk back to them. He's gonna miss a ton of CS and experience here. And now we do see pings coming down. Sonic Abs meeting Jaster in the jungle. I'm not sure he wants this though. The numbers advantage is with the side of SFAD, with Cassidy coming down as well. He'll be forced back out. And that's 3 kills now on the board for SFAD.
Yeah, definitely a rough start for Chaos right now. It's going to be interesting to see how they keep their mindset, to see what they can do to try to fix this early game loss.
For sure. And if there is a lane that's going to win out early here for DoV Chaos, Luna, which lane do you think we should be watching for that?
Right now in the early game, I would actually probably give it to Truodoc in the top, just because of stuff like that with the Poppy passive, being able to get that range damage occasionally.
But bot lane is where the action is right now, as it looks like Sonic Abs looking to return the favor with a gank down here. A good flash from Northwolf will get him to safety. Rookter now in that ghost form there, getting the movement speed boost, but it's not enough to dodge out the Dredge line. Thankfully, Dolphin and Sonic Abs not in position to follow up, so Rookter and Northwolf able to remain safe for now.
Now, if we're talking with ganks, then it's going to be the bot lane.
Yeah, as apparently Sonic Abs agrees with you there, as he went down to that bot lane looking for something. And we do see in that top lane, Truodoc doing really well for himself for now up against Cassidy here. And Cassidy, even if he builds health items, will not give him immediate health there. It will just increase the maximum health he has instead. So we'll have to be careful a little bit in trying to sustain in that lane.
Right. And the issue with the mid lane is, while Talia can put out a lot of damage, she is extremely mana heavy early, and Vladimir can just self-sustain with his own abilities.
Sure, usually we're used to seeing the wet noodle fights happen in the top lane, but it might be a bit in the mid lane right now with that sustain. Usually Vladimir needing a couple of items to really come online, needs a couple of levels to get his healing there, but with that early Dark Seal, with the pots, he's able to sustain really well for now, and does have the teleport available as well, so if he does go low, can always just run back to base and buy a little bit more and then get back to lane. Bot lane, we see a gank from Jason here, but a good Dredge line will get SSJR to safety. And Sonic Abs was still in the area, actually. Was doing, I believe, his Krugs over there. So we'll come back in and force Jaster away.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see who prioritizes Dragon over Rift Herald and vice versa as well.
Dragon just spawned here. It's going to be the Ocean Drake too, so one of the most valuable early Drakes for the teams. We'll have to see which one decides to go for that, because it will massively influence the early game here, but we do see Sonic Abs returning to that bot lane once again, wrapping around. Engage coming from SSJR. They found Northwood. There's no flash available. It's going to be Ignite taking him down. That's going to be a kill for SSJR here, the first one for DoV Chaos. Jacer now here trying to get Rookter out. Will be able to. Rookter flashing himself to safety. That's still a kill going the way of DoVC. Top lane, Truodog and Cassidy trading back and forth. The safeguard though from Truodog, stopping the knock-up from Cassidy there is a really solid counter. Gets the knock into the stun into the wall as well for now. It's actually going to be SFAD despite losing Northwolf in that bot lane. Going to be the one to start up and take this Ocean Drake for themselves, further enhancing their lead. Truodog just barely dodging out the Ornhorn there. Might have gone down if that landed. He'll have to go back to base. No teleport still. Will have to still walk back into lane. They're going to miss a nice big wave because of that.
Yeah, SFAD is playing really well around their waves, being able to push in when they need to and reset at proper times.
Yeah, and if there was anybody on the side of SFAD I had questions about, it would have been Cassie in that top lane. We see him in the mid lane, and as a mid laner, he is solid, but we've not really seen him play top lane that much here. And compared to their ESUB last week, Shadow Balls, who did an amazing job, I was a little concerned. Truodog also did really well last week. So Cassidy doing really, hanging in there, definitely showing his chops as a top laner, as well his versatility and his strength here.
And right now, I would say that for Chaos, their game plan would probably be to try to look at getting that early Rift Herald, just to try to help shorten this gold gap that we see.
Yeah, and we have seen that Herald in the early game often just as important, if not more so, than Dragons, because it can get you the plates, it can get you first turret, and it can really unlock the map here for a lot of teams. And it does look like Sonic Abs is in the top area, is also thinking about it, but so is Jacer as well. He does have a level lead over Jacer right now. The Lamb's Respite not available for Jacer, so if they do end up fighting, Sonic Abs might be able to take this one. The Blast Cone being taken by Jacer, get over the wall. Sonic Abs going to see him now, is going to try and look for him, but a hop will keep Jacer safe, and now he is 6, will have the Lamb's Respite, the ultimate from Kindred, available as well.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who's going to win that fight between the Volibear ult and the Lamb's Sprite from Jacer on the Kindred. Because I'm not sure if the Volibear ult will last long enough.
Let's speak of ultimates. It's going to be Talia's Weaver's Wall coming into that ball lane there. They've cut Northwolf ult, but he's going to get out, and Dolphin actually has to run for the hills. He's taking a lot of damage, SSJR as well, and they're going to leave Judas deep in there. He will go down. The teleport from Unknown Temptation going to be able to get a bit more there, and this fight's breaking out all across the map. Ornhorn having sound in the top side will not find Truodog. Truodog going to remain safe in the jungle. We've got Jacer chasing after Sonic Abs. You were wondering whose ultimate wins out. Apparently, Jacer can win that without even using his ultimate. The Stormbringer being used to disengage there, and SFAD finding yet another win in that bot lane.
Yeah, that was a very good answer by Unknown Temptation. Oh no!
And the flash from Dolphin along the Arcane Shift, not enough to keep him alive. Jason going to dive that top lane, bot lane, pardon me, turret, get the kill, use the Lamb Respite to get himself out there. Top lane, Truodog, Cassidy also very low as the two of them are trading back and forth. But that's going to be another 2 kills in favor of SFAD, and starting to look like they're running away with this game.
Yeah, they're very quickly pushing this into what might be an early, just an early ending to the lane phase, potentially.
Yeah, and SFAD right now holding the record for the fastest games and series. They have a 17+ minute game under their belt against War Mother's Children from last week. So definitely not out of the realm of possibility for them to just completely just accelerate and end a game incredibly quickly here. And if you are DoV Chaos, considering that their win condition was to play through either Dolphin or Judas here, the mid or ADC, and they had to win early, what do you do when you're already down 4,000 gold at 11 minutes here?
I mean, right now, the best you can do is just try to play it safe and try to take reins over the game, just because while all these fights have been hurting them, their farm isn't too terrible currently, so they're still playing their waves out rather well, except for in the top lane.
For sure, and a lot of that difference is, as you said, in that top lane. We can see the gold leads here. 1100 in that top lane for Cassidy, in the jungle as well. 900 for Jacer in the mid lane. About 600 for Unknown Temptation. Not as bad, but in that bot lane is fairly even for the ADCs. The supports, though, tell a different story, as the starving Senna basically means that, well, the discrepancy isn't quite accurate. Northwolf might be the support, but he's getting full gold, setting him up about 16,600 above SSJR here.
Mm-hmm. I think that one of the things that will definitely help for Chaos is that they get item spikes faster. Ooh, this could be good.
Jacer potentially getting caught there, but he's so mobile on that Kindred, can just keep jumping out of these fights. Bot lane, though, they found Rookter. The depth charge comes across, and they get the damage down, but it's going to be a turnaround as Northwolf shows up now. Weaver's wall being dropped on that top side, trying to buy time to get Sonic Abs out of a tight spot here. Despite the action breaking out, no one going to go down except for maybe Shelly to SFAD here.
Yeah, it was a very good Weaver's wall. Oh, Poppy ult.
Oh. Unfortunately, does not manage to find anyone, and they will not be able to disengage. Shelly is destined to die here. We'll go over to SFAD, and it's going to be Jacer picking that one up. Sonic Abs recognizing he can't fight there is going to try and attempt to take this Cloud Drake, but the question is, can he take it fast enough? Jacer is heading down, but looks like no one else is going to stop, so he ends up actually hopping over the wall. I don't know, I think he panicked perhaps, because nobody was stopping him, and he's not going to get the Cloud Drake in exchange for that Herald.
Yeah, I don't know why I guess he was just worried about having to help deal with this in mid. Because, again, you know, like I said earlier, right now, SFAD, they're just accelerating the game. They got their foot on the gas hard right now.
Yeah, and they managed to take down quite a few plates. That mid lane turret down to the last couple of plates there. They're trying to turn around, but they aren't able to find anything. Top side as well. Truodog has to be careful. He was basing in such a dangerous position. Cassidy just flashes in, gets the Brittle proc, and he goes down there. A free kill to Cassidy, and SFAD, as you said, got their foot on the gas right now, and they're just running all over DoV.
Yeah, like, I can kind of understand what Doc was going for there, but if you know the Cassidy still has his flash available, you don't even want to mess with it. You just want to play it safe and back, I feel like.
Yeah, trying to play it safe right now, but that's really hard for them when they don't have the better skilling composition. So if they just play it back and play it safe, SFAD will just get stronger and stronger. And we already see Unknown Temptation going toe-to-toe, is building that Spellbinder as the first Vladimir item. We did see that a little bit compared to the normal Proto Belt. And now in the bot lane here, they are looking to pick up their first turret of the game for SFAD. They've got that turret down to just a fraction of a health there. It are currently being forced back by Sonic Abs, but I think they're just waiting for that next wave.
Yeah, it's very possible. Unless Rooker's able to set up some cheeky wards to bounce his Q off of and just get the range damage.
He didn't need to, just waited for that wave, walked right in, picked that one up, and that's the first turret down already. Mid lane turret also extremely low from the Herald. And this is going to set SFAD up very nicely to try and pick up that second Drake, which Sonic Abs failed to secure there.
Mm-hmm. And again, that was first turret down, sub 15. Like, just barely.
They get the full plate value there on that one. Now they are looking for a gank onto Unknown Temptations, but he's able to run away quickly. Didn't even have to proc his phase rush, I don't believe. And that's going to let the rest of SFAD focus on this Drake. SSJR is nearby. They did drop a ward, but they don't want to fight this. And that's going to be a fairly easy dragon take. Unknown Temptation now has to be careful. Does get stunned, does get knocked up. The pool has already been used, but he will be able to flash away. And the Ignite not going to be able to take him down there. The rest of his team now have rejoined them in the mid lane. SSJR landing the Dredge Line on Northwolf. I don't think he wanted that one. Now Jason looking for a kill. Does find it. I believe there's a red buff just ticking down. Will flash back away to safety. Did not want to use the ultimate there. And they find a kill as well as the dragon.
Yeah, like, right now with how DoV Chaos is playing, I feel like that maybe they're just, like, tilted after that that failed engage in at level 1.
Yeah, tilted right away from level 1. We did see SSJR go there down there under turret. Just the burst that they can put out there, the poke from the setup, from the Karma, and Jacer able to just proc that 3-hit passive there. can just pop people under turret if they're not careful, and SSJR is one of their tankier members as well. So Dolphin has to be extremely careful as he tries to keep this turret up. Doesn't look like he'll be able to at all, as we do see the mid lane outer turret now going down as well. The gold lead's starting to look like it might hit 10k soon. Trodoc able to knock up Cassidy for a little bit, does stop the second Horn, but his ultimate in exchange gets interrupted. It will go down to Jacer, who's now 6-0-2 here.
Yeah, right now I'm not even sure what Chaos can do to try to stop this bleeding. I mean, you gotta, like I said, there's a 6-0-2 Kindred. There's a Vladimir that has Spellbinder and a Magi's already.
Now in that bot lane, Judas going up against Unknown Temptation. The Hemo Plate coming down. You can see how much it's ticked down. Judas still alive. The Hemo Plate wasn't enough to take him down. He's trying to Weaver's Wall away. Can he do it? No, he cannot. Unknown Temptation able to pick him up mid-wall there. Now Sonic Abs being run out of his own jungle. Cassidy and Jace are just double teaming him there. And that's all the outer turrets right now. Down for DoV Chaos. The mid-inner turret now looking like it's kind of the focus here. They're going for it. SSJ just sitting there dancing away, waiting for some backup because he doesn't want to leave the safety of the turret right now. He is going to dredge line in. Will get the depth charge as well on Rookta, but he's so tanky. They can just turn this one around. They get the root, and now Dolphin extremely low. The turret gonna take North Wolf down though. SSJ are gonna get the credit for that. Trodoc has shown up in the back line. The teleport is gonna come down from Unknown Temptation as well. Jacer chasing. Tangwin pulling up the slow, and Jacer now 7-0-2 is godlike here. He's already got himself, let's see, how many marks? 5 marks as well, so he's basically got that completed. It's just going to look to extend the range now with with all those marks that he can continue to pick up, and SFAD just running this game right now.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not sure what Chaos. I don't know what their options are. They're extremely far behind. They're like, it's not even 20 minutes, and we're at a 10k gold difference.
And this is making SFAD look so scary right now. That would be 2 straight weeks where they've just absolutely dominated and just had some really dominant early games here. And the other thing too was that we mentioned DoV Chaos is top of the table right now. They are #1, whereas SFAD was in the 5th spot. So those weeks that they missed don't seem to be slowing SFAD down at all as they managed to pick up a Herald. And this time it's going to be Unknown Temptation picking that one up here.
Yeah, it's definitely impressive what SFAD can do, even with their roster change from their previous split-winning team.
And another thing to note here, the Medjais for Unknown Temptation, he's got 11 stacks already, has yet to die, so that Medjai is working really well for him. Sonic Abs, every time he shows up, it's just getting hammered right now. He's lost already 70% just from seeing Rookter and the North Wolf there, and this is supposed to be that tank Volibear. He is building Cinder Hulk, so that shows you how far behind DoV Chaos is right now. Now they got the snare onto SSJR. Depth charge coming out. It finds the North Wolf, the dredge line as well. And North Wolf's going to get taken low here. Still will be able to get out. Did flash out, dodging out the True Shot barrage there. It's going to be Rookter taking that one, but he's tanky enough to ignore it. Building the Frozen Mallet first for himself.
Yeah, it's this could be really good.
Horn coming across. It's going to find Sonic Abs here, but that's not the target they wanted. They're looking for SSJR. Now the movement speed coming out of the North Wolf and Rookter. They will not be able to get SSJR, but they are going to be able to pick up Dolphin instead. As a flank from Unknown Temptation, he's going deep into the back. Jason now legendary as he does manage to find Trodoc there. And Unknown Temptation just diving so aggressively, gets Sonic Abs, but he goes down. That's not worth it for him. He gives over a 500 gold bounty as well as losing a bunch of stacks on that Medjais, which he almost had fully stacked there. And now Rookter hunting Judas down. Just going to keep applying the damage. Will flash in to get the last hit. Get out under the turret as well. And that is an ace here, basically, from DoV Chaos.
Yeah, like, while Unknown Temptation did unfortunately die, I mean, look at what SFAD was able to gain out of that. They got a dragon, They were able to get
And a
ace.
blind hook, pardon me, from SSJR there. And I really don't think he should have done that blind because the entirety of the enemy team is there. They will be able to pick North Pole up here. Took them a bit of time, and Rukter is able to free fire into the background. They're looking for SSJR again. Horn being sounded. Sonic Ab's gonna go down, and the Horn actually connects onto Truodok and Sid, who was looking for that flank, but now he's all alone. His team has abandoned him, and that is a very, very dead Yordle.
Yeah, it's as Rishin said in the chat, it's looking like it's over. So next question mark.
Yeah, and it's just a matter of how SFAD wants to close this out. Barring a colossal mistake, it's unlikely they lose this one. The stun coming on to Rukter, but at this point it just looks like that's SSJR kind of feeding a little bit because he can't fight this. And Jacer goes in, will get Dredge lined up. We'll have to use the Lamb's Respite. I believe this is the first time we're seeing it being used here. And they get the shutdown. It goes over to Dolphin. That's who they wanted on. Sonic Ab's able to take another person down. It's going to be Cassidy, a smaller bounty for himself. That's perfectly fine. Unknown Temptation, though, split pushing while that was happening, did manage to get the top inhibitor turret down. So they have begun cracking that base shell here. And they are looking to chase. They're thinking maybe the Baron. We could see them try, but it's going to be a risky endeavor here. They don't really have the vision around that area. They are just clearing out the vision, it looks like, for now. And now SFAD blind at the Baron, which has been started up here by DOV Chaos.
Right. I mean, it is a desperation play, but right now it's almost really the only play they can really make that would really help them get back into this game.
And SSJR trying to zone out Unknown Temptation there, but it looks like he might end up going down. The teleport from Cassidy. Ornhorn comes across, catches the squishies here. And SFAD has arrived. They do stop the Baron take. They don't find any kills, but just stopping the Baron take alone. Oh, well, they did find a kill, pardon me, on SSJR. But besides SSJR, like, just stopping the Baron was the more important thing. They are going to be able to now turn around and take this one. And DOV Chaos not going to be able to stop them at all. Jacer 2 levels up from Sonic Abs right now.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing for Chaos is, while they've had a little bit of time to attempt to go for the Baron, they had to zone out the Vladimir, and they didn't have any kind of pressure in any of their lanes. So it's just like, it's all or nothing at that point, and it didn't work for them.
All or nothing indeed, and they came up with nothing right now. There is about a 12,000 gold gap here at 24 minutes, about 500 gold per minute here, and that's an absolutely massive disparity. When we look across at the item builds in the top lane, Cassidy already has 2 completed items versus 1 from Truodok, and well on his way to building what's likely to be the Abyssal Mask as well. So he's going to be extremely hard to take down. They've got Baron now. They can push in with these Baroned up minions in the jungle. Huge disparity here. Sonic Abs just barely completing his first major jungle item, where Jacer already has that plus 2 other items. He's completely online with that Blade of the Rune King and the Rudan's Hurricane. Cassidy looking to force a fight here. Ornhorn comes across. They find SSJR and they burst him, but he is under turret, is going to be able to get out and is going to be able to make his way back to safety. Now it's the inhibitor being taken down. It's looking at the final push here from SFAD. Truodok was caught out in the middle of nowhere. He's trying to go back to base, but will he be able to get there in time? Because they're going to take that top inhibitor down as well. Unknown Temptation already took the turret previously, so they do have now 2 exposed lanes here, and they're looking for the Nexus turret. They've got siege minions coming in. They're Baron buffed up, so they can put a world of hurt on these turrets, and Chaos has to look for a fight here. They do get North Pole right off the bat. The Minefield with the Dredge line, but it's going to be Unknown Temptation going aggressively in. The Hemo Plate going to be able to find Judas here. Now Sonic Ab's going to go golden to buy himself a bit of time, but it doesn't mean anything because Rukter just able to pop him. Unknown Temptation extremely low. He's going to be saved. Jacer picking up yet another kill. Truodok gonna knock Jacer away, but he doesn't need to be there. And Unknown Temptation just able to sustain in these fights. There's no healing cut yet. And this is going to be game at 26 minutes here for SFAD as they win game 1 in swimming fashion.
Yeah, super fast game. On paper, Chaos had the better early game, but because they lost that trade at level 1, and Vlad was able to get that early Darksteel, so that got him super far ahead. And is the main issue there was the Volibear died for Chaos. While Volibear is really strong, he is currently one of the champions to where if he falls behind early, especially at level 1, it is excruciatingly hard to come back.
For sure, and yeah, as you said, that level 1 just kind of caused a lot of problems here for the entirety of basically DOV Chaos. They never did seem to quite recover here.
Yeah, definitely. It was just like it. To me, it felt like it was level 1 tilt. Like there were times where some of their calls they seemed like they were okay, and then they were just slightly misplayed, and that's it.
And you can see from the damage charts as well here, as you called it, right? The mid lane and the ADC positions for DOV Chaos, that's where you're expecting to see the damage come out. And Dolphin and Judas did manage to output quite a bit of damage. And you take a look over at the side of SFAD and just there's so much more damage coming out from them. Rukter, especially on that Senna, managed to out damage Jaster despite Jaster going legendary here.
Right. I think another issue is the only kills that they were ever really to pick up for Chaos was on the North Wolf, which is just the support. And I mean, while Karma does have a lot of burst and utility with her shields and her roots, I mean, at the same time, she's not the carry. So, I mean, I get like you have to try to be able to pick up something, but at the same time, you don't necessarily need to drop everything you have on the support.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely a bit of a rough, definitely a bit of a rough game one here for the side of DOV Chaos, and we'll have to see if they are able to recover from this one. It is a best of 3, so they still have opportunities yet to make their way back into the game. And with that, we are going to head to a short intermission break while we prepare for game 2 here. So stick around, and we'll see you soon.